just gotta listen.
Real talk that we talk about.
You just gotta listen.
Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, Truth Talks. I'm your host, Crazy Bone.
I'm the co-host, Keith G.
And we appreciate y'all for tapping back in with us. You know, we know y'all come here to hear some good conversation.
Oh, yeah.
You know, laced with some truth. And that's exactly what we got for y'all today. You know what I'm saying? So once again, thank y'all for coming back. Please subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I know we've been it's been gaps in between, but you know, we getting back in the rhythm, man. You know, we doing a lot of things, so you know.
Yeah.
But on this episode, right now, today, we're going to be speaking about a topic that has become a very controversial topic in the world, in the streets. And that topic is the topic of snitching.
Yeah.
Snitching.
What they say, you get stitches for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. So for everybody that just maybe your first episode, you popping this one on and this is what you're hearing. So just so you know what this podcast is about, you know, we like to compare opinions, and you know, we take a topic and talk about what man says and thinks about it and we compare it to what God says and thinks about it.
Word.
And like we always say, it's usually the total opposite. And you know, and it's up to y'all to determine what makes the most sense, what you should follow, you know, because you know, or who you would believe.
Right.
And so we're going to do the same thing here with this topic. You know, we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it a little, you know what I'm saying, and just put some perspective on it. And I guarantee you, it's, you know, this topic will be spoken on in a different light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but before we get started, I want to ask you, you know, what are your takes on snitching?
I mean, man, you know, as a grown man, it's changed. You know what I'm saying? From being, you know what I'm saying, a young person, adolescent, or whatever you call it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's growing up or wisdom or reading more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It changes my perspective on that. You know, I see that, you know, withholding the truth is in concert with being a lie. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much, you know, they go together. What I mean by being in concert, they're hand in hand, and they're necessary. You know what I'm saying, to achieve the other one. You know, so, you know, babies getting killed in the streets. You know, elderly people getting robbed or accidentally shot. You know, sometimes it don't be on purpose or whatever it is, but you know, for the whole community to be draped with fear and not want to, you know, tell the truth because of, you know, either a label, you know what I'm saying, that the streets give you. You know what I'm saying? Or anything like that, just, you know, not to tell the truth or whatever. So whatever it is, or personal gain, you know. So I personally think at this point in my life, you know, it would have to depend on the situation, you know what I'm saying, of it. I ain't talking about just, you know, somebody, your co-workers, because I was talking with Arturo earlier about something like that, not to be so long with it, but, you know, if you're at work and you got a co-worker doing this and that, that's not my business. But something to hurt somebody and bring somebody violence, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. I think those things should be talked about. I think the authorities should know about that, because we don't need that, you know what I'm saying, in the community. And that's just what I'm thinking right now. Yeah.
I mean, you know, for me, basically, when I was younger, of course, you know, when I was younger and I was running the streets, you know, like participating in that, like whatever, like street activity or whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you do have a different outlook on it.
Yeah.
Back then, you ride with what the code says.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like, that's how you survive in this. That's how you survive in the game that you play. You know, but and that's how I felt about it. I ain't gonna even lie. That's how I felt about it. You know, even up to like, you know, like maybe several years back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, and just like everybody else, we looked at snitching as a no-no. You know what I'm saying? But then I grew up, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until I matured mentally and educated myself that my outlook on a lot of things in life started to change, or I started to question things, you know what I'm saying? And,
right.
And then it became very clear to me. You know what I'm saying? It became very, very clear that these so-called street codes and regulations, I realized that it's all bullshit. Excuse my language, you know what I'm saying? But I felt I had
Real
to
talk.
use that word because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? We're the communities, the black communities is being held hostage by bullshit.
Yeah. Out of fear. Just like what you said.
Exactly.
Out of fear. And you know, the children grow up thinking that way, that this is the best way to be, because, you know, unfortunately, most rappers come from the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like when neighborhoods like we came from, or whatever project, this and that, ghetto or whatever it is. So they come into the game with that code. And the loudest megaphone that they have to continue to, you know, preach that thing is the MC. You know what I'm saying? There's no snitching, and don't nobody want that jacket, you know what I'm saying, to be on them. You know what I'm saying? They rather have that than to have justice for their loved one or be in fear. So, you know.
So, see, let me explain something, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, and this is real, like, there is no such thing as honor amongst thieves. It's not. It sounds good, and you know, it sounds good in the movie and in Hollywood, but it's not. You know, this is like, you know what I'm saying? This is what I never understood. It's like, and this is for everybody that's out there that's actually living that life. You know what I'm saying? This is what I never understood.
Right.
Even me, when I was out there, what make you think that you could actually trust another criminal? Like, bro, what makes you think you could actually trust another criminal? The majority of the time that a snitch is put in a snitch is not put in a snitch's position because he was a law-abiding model citizen.
Right.
No, it's because they got caught up in some criminal activity, and they in a jam, and the only way to get out is to roll over on you.
Yeah.
What do you think he's going to do? Especially if he's faced with the rest of his life. What do you think this criminal, there was a criminal when you met him, is going to do? Criminals do criminal things.
Yeah.
And snitching is a part of it. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
It's a part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? It always has been. Black people look up to the Mafia so much, but we know a lot of them were snitches too.
Oh man.
I've seen it. We've all seen it in the movies and seen the documentary. You know what I'm saying? How this one told on this one, and you know what I'm saying. As a matter of fact, we talked about this before, talking about the Sammy the Bull and the John Gotti and the Sammy the Bull situation.
Yeah.
Now, if y'all familiar with the story, you know what I'm saying. Sammy the Bull decided to snitch on John Gotti because John Gotti was throwing him under the bus, and he had proof.
Yeah, on them tapes.
That he was throwing him under the bus because, you know, he had the tapes. Now, this is a man, Sammy the Bull, this was a man who was loyal to this man.
He was, G.
Done a lot of dirt for him.
Yep.
Had dirt on his hands for him.
All that.
And then you know, they bring you in and they play this tape for you, for the dude you've been loyal to. And here he is putting everything on you. As a matter of fact, he's talking to other members of the family.
Yeah.
And you know, when this happens, that just spreads the jealousy and all that around anyway. So now your life is in danger because now they looking at you like, oh yeah, the boss don't respect you and
that part.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what was he supposed to do? In my opinion, Sammy the Bull knew all this was going down.
Yeah.
And he took the stance, before he gets me, I'm going to get him. And he did what he did, and he's looked at as the snitch.
As a snitch rap.
I haven't heard nobody say nothing about John Gotti.
Yeah, on them tapes.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, because if he said it then, and he knew they had it on tape, he would have backed it up.
Right.
If he had to go to court for it, he would have stood by it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Yeah, that's true. But come on, bro.
Real talk, man. And even with a scenario like this here, if now this what we is saying at the same time too. If it's two criminals, me and him go pull a lick together. You know what I'm saying? And I get caught and he don't get caught. I don't have an obligation to just go tell on him. I'm not saying I'm finna just give up my friend if I got caught and he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the crime. We had to murder somebody that's who knows how I think in the cell later on. Another murderer needs to be off the streets. I don't know. But I'm saying for a bank robbery or something like that, I get caught, I'm not telling on my friend. That's just that aspect. But, you know, a drive-by, I see who's doing that. You know what I'm saying? Little kid shot up the street. I'm not finna be in fear to not tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's because now that's messing with my morality. I got to answer to somebody about that. And I can't hold that for no street politics that the streets don't even hold up. You know what I'm saying? Because snitching didn't start in the civilian life. It started just, I mean, it's way beyond the streets, and we'll get to that too. But it didn't just start right there. You know, it's funny when soldiers expect civilians to uphold their criminal, monikers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100. If I hear somebody throwing me up under the bus, talking crazy about me, and I've been nothing in this situation, and I've been nothing but loyal to this person, I probably would have done the same thing.
I would too. It would have broken.
Especially with my mentality back then. I was like, nigga, what?
Cause yeah, you thinking the whole time this your partner.
Yeah, bro, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and it's just crazy like that, you know. And it's different levels of snitching, man. You know, now when I was younger I could understand it when a person, just like you said, went on the lick, it didn't go right, you know, you get caught and you didn't want to snitch, you know, because maybe you felt like, you know, you volunteered to be there, so you're gonna man up and take your punishment and deal with it. That's fine. That's on you. Man up. That's the man's way of thinking, because you're like, oh yeah, you know, nobody was hurt. You know what I'm saying? I ain't snitch on nobody.
Yeah.
We robbed, but like, how do you know? You like, there's so many after effects to when you do something like to when a person has a crime committed on them. Even when a person gets their car broken into, they feel violated.
Right.
And sometimes that sends people into depression and
trauma,
you know, they scared, you know what I'm saying? Like, so everything we can't say, you know what I'm saying, well, if it's something serious, if, you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna tell. You know what I'm saying? Because like we gonna get to coming up, that's not how God look at it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when we young and we doing it, all this sounds good because this is what we trained. This is what we came up with. This is how we train to think.
Yeah.
But it's backwards. That's the whole reason we doing this show right now. You know what I'm saying? So let's say you and a few buddies decide to go hit a lick. Y'all got everything mapped out, got the plan down. You know what I'm saying? The plan is we get in, we get out, nobody get killed. We do, you know what I'm saying, nobody get hurt.
Right.
But the plan go wrong. One of your trigger happy homies shoots and kills somebody. The police find out you involved. You the only one get arrested. They say, look, we know you ain't the shooter. But you got to tell us who did shoot, or you're going to jail for the rest of your life. What do you do? Now, I know the average criminal. Will quickly say, I'm not snitching. Of course, you know what I'm saying? That's until they get you in that room and they get you in that interrogation seat.
Hey, they get to bring that light and they're smoking a cigarette in front of you.
Because them boys get to singing, boy, another 48.
Oh, man.
They be, woo.
As soon as they tuck their arms in they thing like this.
I done heard about 20 hit songs come from there.
Oh, yeah.
Because they sing it. So,
that's a tough one.
Or another one. No, I'm not. Now, I'm gonna go back and break them all down, but I'm just put them out there. Or what if you just chilling in the neighborhood and you see somebody get robbed or seriously murdered, or let's say an innocent kid was killed by a stray bullet. Now that's something that happened in the hood all the time,
all day.
You know what I'm saying? You saw it happen. You know who did it. What would you do? Or what if a family member was murdered? And you know who did it. Would you testify? Or would you be one of those people that consider that as snitching as well?
Some good questions, G.
You know what I'm saying? So in today's world, let me keep 100. In today's world, this no snitch culture has gotten out of hand.
Way out.
You know what I'm saying? It has gotten so out of hand that it has actually stifled the growth of the black community.
Yeah.
We can't grow. We can't get over it. Can't get over the killings. The neighborhood is being held hostage, like we said,
Yep.
by these street codes and regulations that most players in the game is not following.
They own rules.
They're not even following them. You know what I'm saying? We gotta start asking ourselves, what are we being loyal to, and why are we being loyal to it?
And that's a good question out of that. On the real, G. And like the most thing to come up with is it's got to be either economic gain to snitch or fear or self-preservation.
For real.
And any of those three things is not nothing that you want to live with your entire life. You know what I'm saying? To result from somebody else's demise. You know what I'm saying? That ain't how a society will never come to nothing. We'll always just have that ghetto. We'll always just have that project. We'll always just have in fear. Just, you know, that's the same thing with the courts. When you go to court, you kind of want to be able to go in there and people see it the way it's supposed to be instead of being paid to not see it that way.
Mm-hmm.
You want somebody to tell the truth on your behalf. What you going to do if your grandmother, like he said, catch a stray bullet, or your little daughter catch a stray bullet? The whole neighborhood shook to not tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? So what that does is like it tears the fabric of the morality down. Now each kid to grow up, he's thinking this is the way to be. I ain't telling on nobody. But like you said, who and why is we being loyal to this?
But you know, and some people will say, well, I'm loyal to the streets. But the streets ain't never been loyal to nobody. Period. Do you know how much blood these streets have drained from us out there? Man. How many people lost their lives because they was loyal to the streets or loyal to the game? And what did they receive in return?
Nothing.
Death. They did not receive loyalty in return.
Yeah.
Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you choose to live that kind of life, you know what I'm saying, and you know what's involved, and you know what I'm saying, you got to know eventually you're going to get caught in a jam. And if you choose to stay solid and keep it real for the homies and stay loyal, and you know what I'm saying, that's on you. Good luck with that. But a lot of times people make these decisions when they make these decisions, they do it in the state of being scared.
Yep.
Scared of what people are going to say about you, or scared what they may do to you. We always worried about what man thinks or what people going to do, or what man can do, but we never consider or seem to care about what our Creator thinks about this topic.
Real talk, man.
But y'all know how we get down on this show. You know, we going there. You know what I'm saying? We going there.
Oh, yeah, we going to tell you.
Now, a lot of y'all might not even be aware that there's a scripture in the Bible that speaks about snitching. It don't actually specifically use the word snitching, but when you hear it, you can pretty much gather. You can use your common sense and pretty much gather that this is what it's referring to. So let's present that question. Let's now present the question of what does God feel about snitching?
Right.
And let's look at the scripture. Y'all may want to write this down just in case you want to use it as a reference. Keep it handy, you know what I'm saying? It's found at Leviticus 5:1. It says, if someone sins because he has heard a public call to testify, and he is a witness or has seen or learned about it, and he does not report it, then he will not answer for his error. Then he will answer for his error. Sorry. He will answer for his error.
Right.
Well. What do we have here? So what this scripture is telling us is God is basically telling you that if you're in a situation that calls for you to speak up and to bear witness and to reveal whatever information you have about a situation or whatever matter, or you actually see a crime take place and you refuse to come forward, that blood is also on your hands.
Yeah.
Whether you snitch or not, you're going to be held accountable. Listen again to what God labeled not snitching as. Look what he labeled not snitching as. If someone sins because he has not heard a public call to testify and they refuse to come forward, they have committed a sin.
Yeah.
A sin. So when you don't come forward and bear witness to the truth and you refuse to testify in a matter that you know you have knowledge of, and you take the stand of not snitching, you're actually committing a sin.
Yeah.
And here it is. Y'all thought all y'all was doing by not snitching was keeping it real for the homies. But it's much deeper than that. You're actually making yourself an enemy of God. So now we can throw so now we can throw not snitching on the table with all the other sins.
Yeah.
Fornication, adultery, murder, stealing, homosexuality,
lying,
not snitching.
Yeah.
Right there with them.
Yeah, and
basically,
and I'm glad you read that Leviticus 5:1, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because so this is, and I'm glad we're doing this on this show. That's why I do thank God for this, because if you don't know something, if you know something, you can do better. Now with this information, you might be mad and say, damn, I can't hide behind ignorance no more. But we letting you know that this is the way God thinks about it. Our Creator thinks this way about, you know what I'm saying, what's going on with this. This is not the society that he built for us. This is not what was intended for people to be running around scared of a jacket called snitching. But in our community, it's so like we just really embrace that. You know what I'm saying? Like we got like a whole clothing store ready to give somebody that jacket if they do this. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we screaming out and crying for justice.
Like I said before, man, you know, in this world, people are so scared of coming forward and speaking the truth because they fear what man says or what man will do to them. And I don't, like I said, I don't understand why you're not giving God that respect.
Yeah. That's real right there, though. We got pause for a minute right there on that, man. Talk about that some more, G.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like he is the one that has, he's the one that has to say so over your souls.
Word. Not
men. We worried about what men say or what people think about us or what they'll call us or label us, when none of that matters. The one we should be trying to please is God. Man, like, and we always say this, man can do nothing for us. So why is we out here trying to uphold these street codes and uphold these codes to the streets and to the game? You know, we losing favor with God, and only that matters.
Yeah.
The one hand that holds the salvation to our lives.
Period.
That's all that matters. We always tell you on this show that just because man says cool, don't mean that God approves. We have to remember this, and we're going to keep saying it like I said, because in these last days, we're going to see man clear and approve a lot of things that God is looking down on us like, what is y'all doing?
Yeah. It says in the Bible somewhere, I forget where it's said, but it says there's a way of man that thinks is correct, but it leads to destruction. You know what I'm saying? It's things like that. The way that a man thinks that this is correct and right to do, but it all leads to destruction. Because the father of lies, who is Satan, he uses this kind of thing so to further kill, steal, and destroy. That's his agenda. And as much help as he can get with that, you know, by people participating in his agenda, that's all he really wants. And lying and not keeping the truth, whether you lie or you obstruct the truth, is both the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So not telling what you've seen or not telling nothing like that, that's his agenda. He the father of lies. Mm-hmm. He started this whole lying thing. Like Cuban is, we started this game. He started the lies. That's how he does. That's what he does. kill, steal, and destroy, and it's working on our people. It's them little caskets is out there all in the cemetery. It ain't just older folks dying no more like that, you know?
It ain't, you know what I'm saying? I wanna go back and touch just a little bit on how not snitching has stifled the growth for the black community, because we can't move forward and find peace and feel safe in our communities if this no snitch culture is not addressed. And it needs to be addressed by the real men, not the real niggas.
They say that again, bro. Sure. Yeah.
The niggas gotta sit this one out. Like real, and we used to be down with the niggas.
No, we was them niggas like that. We
Like,
drank
for real.
for look. I'm old. I ain't gonna speak for him. I'm old, man. We did a lot. I did everything and thought backwards as I could. But check it out. So we ain't trying to sit on no soapbox saying we don't identify with this. We just found error in our ways, like Nas said on Belly, and we trying to do better.
Yeah, cause some of the stuff we was doing was damaging to the community.
Pretty
You know
much
what I'm
everything
saying?
I was trying to do.
And until we start holding each other and these people responsible for tearing down our communities, for
Yeah.
all the killings in the neighborhood, for making it unsafe for our kids and our loved ones,
Yeah.
this is going to keep happening until people decide enough is enough. We're being loyal to people that's taking innocent lives for no reason at all.
No.
We just pull up shooting. Da 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 da. Da. Oh, nigga, you come on, bro. Like, for what? What you gonna tell God when he's like, why'd you shoot that
Yeah.
man? What was your reason? Oh man, cause he's from the other side of town. What? Oh, so they can't live on the other side of town no more?
Yeah.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? The other day I was watching an interview that the homie Young Jock did. They were asking him about the snitching culture. Shout out to Young Jock, by the way, you know what I'm saying? And I had to commend him, because he's one of only the very few that I saw spoke about it in the same light that we are now.
Yeah.
And honestly, what more people with voices need to start doing, and stop being so damn scary and just riding with the crowd all the time.
Yeah.
Especially you OGs. Why is you OGs trying to impress kids?
That's real, bro.
I'm hearing some of the OGs, you know what I'm saying, like they like, yeah, you know, if you ain't got jury on you, bro, why are we trying to impress kids? We're supposed to be showing them examples, not trying to impress them.
Real talk.
In that way. Like, oh yeah, we still out here getting it. You know, we getting that money. That's corny.
Yeah, and still upholding these laws. I seen a guy on TV the other day. Hell, I think it was Boosie and them talking about T.I. still or whatever going on with them. And this ain't about none of that. But I'm looking at, these is grown men. At this point in life, if we can't become, not just grow up by years, but if we can't grow and have wisdom and be able to tell people, this ain't nothing to be fighting about. I mean, grown men, they was friends. They kids play together. You know what I'm saying? But evidently the snitching got, you know what I'm saying, got both of them shook up or lit about whatever the hell is going on, which ain't got nothing to grown men. You know what I'm saying? And this is, all I'm saying is our grown men need to be teaching our young kids something, to teach them to, you know what I'm saying, destruct that kind of thought process. But hell, if they don't know, what can they do too? But I hope you watch this show so you could probably change your mind about things. You know what I'm saying?
And I think they squashed the beef. They made up and squashed the beef.
Well, that's cool. So
For
erase
sure.
all of that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, but on the real, keep
No,
it.
definitely.
You know what I mean? Because it's this thing needs to stop being upheld. This is upheld. It's straight from Satan. It ain't got nothing else to do with nothing. And forgive me don't forgive me. I'm straightly saying it bluntly like that because there is no other reason for it.
Exactly.
To keep up this gangster activity. My partner said in the beginning, we was trying to emulate the mob. The mob is the main one who talk about no snitching and stuff. We didn't get that till they had that and did all of their shows and stuff, and we started watching it much more. So that ain't nothing to adopt. Just as well as we adopted that lifestyle and thought process, we can change our mind. You know what I'm saying? They call that thing a metanoia. to have a whole change of your thought process. I just learned that word. That's why I had to throw that out there.
Okay. You've been studying.
Yeah.
So, I want to go back and touch on something that you said earlier too, when you said withholding the truth is just the same. It's just the same as, telling a lie.
Yeah.
And we know how God feels about a lie.
Oh man.
And the reason is because a lie is what got this entire world turned upside down right now.
Sure did.
One lie. So that's why he hates all the lies.
All liars.
Being told. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things he detests. You know what I'm saying? So don't think, don't think, maybe this is something to think about. Maybe you happen to get up at night, take a late night, whiz, go get you something cold to drink, happen to go to your window, bap, 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 you see something happen. You say, oh man, nobody saw me, nobody know, I know nothing. Close that blind, you go back to bed, I ain't saying nothing. God know you saw it.
Yeah.
You know you saw it. You're going to be held accountable. And this is what happens in the neighborhood. Because this is why the neighborhood stays the way, because y'all won't remove the problems. Look, we from the hood. We've been around long enough to see that it's not getting better.
Nah, man.
Because people keep doing the same thing.
Yeah, the system ain't working.
It ain't getting better. Even the system, with these codes y'all got, them ain't working.
Nah. I looked at it all these times. I ain't never seen not snitching benefit nobody, because the person that probably should have got snitched on could have changed his life if he realized, like, damn, I'm in trouble behind this, or whatever it is.
That's
I
true.
can make me a change. But if I keep getting away, what they call Gotti, Teflon Don. You know what I'm saying? Now he embracing that jacket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of getting away. Not only that, but other people want to be like him for that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like the Teflon Don. I want to keep getting away with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people want to do. They want to keep getting away with criminal activity because there is no accountability. You know what I'm saying? And we so backwards on the streets, we learn to praise that. You know what I'm saying? Hell, we'll even make a t-shirt about it. You know what I'm saying? Free this one and that one. Knowing that nigga guilty. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I don't have no love for your folk, but look at what we honor. You know what I'm saying? But try and take a look at it how God looking at these things. So that maybe we can learn something, learn how to act better, treat each other better, love one another, treat our neighbor how we supposed. That's what God say. Love your neighbor like you love yourself.
That's true, man.
And what else is that? You don't want nothing happening to them. You don't want to swindle them. You don't want to beat them out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to harm none of them. You see something. Hell, I just seen just as a neighbor, I was walking down, just go to the store yesterday. It was just a baby in my driveway with a diaper on. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no snitching or nothing, but I'm concerned. I'm like, yo, baby, what you doing? I went and grabbed him and started looking for his peoples. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And his mom came out the house like, she looking for him in the house, but he didn't escape some way. You know what I'm saying? But that's what you want to do for your folks. You know what I'm saying? You want to look around and kind of police up on your own community. You don't want nothing to happen to nobody. Could have ran in the street. But if I ain't see nothing. I don't care. That baby ain't mine.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. The attitude ain't working.
Nah, we didn't brought our peoples.
It's got
so much trouble.
It's got our neighborhoods in shambles. Like for real. And it needs to change. You know what I'm saying? But like, before we get out of here, I just want to leave y'all with this. You know what I'm saying? Again, we owe the game in the streets nothing at all.
Nathan.
If you're going to do crime, understand that there are repercussions. You can be killed, you can be caught. You know what I'm saying? We all know that. And you really need to think about this. If you find yourself in a snitch position, are you going to keep it real with the homies to look like a real nigga to them and lose your salvation? Or will you think about God and do the right thing? Because again, in the end, he is the one you has to answer to.
Oh yeah.
Not the homies. The homies ain't saving souls.
Nah.
They ain't saving souls. You know what I'm saying? it will be you by yourself standing there being judged.
Yep.
By yourself. And, you know, I'm going to say it again. Just because man says it's cool don't mean God approves. You have to think about that, man.
Yeah.
All the time. You know what I'm saying? And once again, we thank y'all for letting us your ears and your precious time to hear a little bit of truth. You know what I'm saying? And please always remember that the truth is always talking.
Just got to shut up and listen.
Truth talk, truth, let the truth talk, truth talk.
It's always talking.
You just gotta listen.
Real talk.